I was like, oh, I love my eyebrows. I don't need to change anything, you know. I think all my career paths could be described as like through the pain to the stars, you know. We as entrepreneurs, as like small business owners, or like people who are passionate about something, this is the thing that we can do. We can find one specific thing that we are completely not satisfied with, focus on this, and try to understand how we can make it better. It was such an accomplishment for me. I'm like, okay, where is my crown? Where is my crown? I need all the applause in the world for me. Actually,
I give it to you.
Yeah. And she asked me, oh, how are you doing? And as a Russian person, I was like, it's a horrible day, you know. And I started, instead of a small talk thing, I just started to tell her how was my day actually. And she was like looking at me like, is she like okay? So you know what I'm saying?
No. Because you just did it on pandemic.
I did it myself. I'm like, actors from Sleep No More during AMFAR with Natalia Vodyanova. Every makeup artist, every eyebrows artist, we all will have clients, just different clients. It's enough people, enough faces, enough eyebrows in the world, in the country, in the state, in the city to provide the services. Just do it.
Hi, this is She Did It Show and I'm your host, Daria Kruchinina. I'm here today to speak with award-winning fashion and editorial, beauty makeup and natural brow artist and entrepreneur, Daria Kruchinina. She began her career in Russia and ended up working in New York City at New York Fashion Week, collaborating with Natalia Vodyanova, Gigi Ferranti, Harvey Pierre, and Masha Gutik and many other personalities, top models, prestige beauty and fashion brands. Her editorial artwork appeared in numerous publications worldwide, including Vogue, L'Officiel, Tatler, InStyle, Grazie, and other media outlets. She holds a master's degree, numerous certifications in makeup and eyebrows, and is licensed esthetician in New York City. Dasha, I'm so excited to see you today. It's just such a pleasure to have you in the studio. And I would love to talk with you about your entrepreneurship journey in a beauty world, in a world of fashion models, beauty and fashion brands, editorial photo shoots. How did you start your career? How did you end up where you are today?
Thank you, Daria. Thank you for actually asking me for the interview today. The pleasure is all mine. So, how I started my career. I started back in Russia more than 11 years ago already. I counted. It was not 10, it was 11. So, time flies really fast. And it feels like yesterday, but yeah, 11 years ago I started.
So you started your career in Russia?
Yeah, in the south of Russia, in Krasnodar, where I'm originally from.
Yeah, and you've been working with fashion and beauty brands there. Tell a little bit more, how did you start this career path as a makeup editorial artist?
I think my career path is really not typical one because during all my childhood I wanted to be the model. And I wanted to go to China just to try to be on a catwalk as a model. So for this, of course, I had to have the portfolio and the lookbook ready to present to the agency. And when I started to work on this, I was 15 years old. I managed to face really bad makeup artists back into the days in Russia. So I remember as now, when I was 16, I had the makeup application that was done in a completely wrong way. I had panda smokey eyes, like literally panda eyes, like this, circled.
Oh my gosh, it's a nightmare.
Total black, not blended, like some weird hairstyle, all slick back, high ponytail. And in the pictures, I looked like a crazy person. So, of course, this publication never came out as a good one. I never got the contract to China, and I never started.
You wanted to go to China?
I wanted to go to China to work as a model. So it never happened, and I was like, okay, so if I cannot find a makeup artist who can make a good job, maybe I need to know how to do it myself. This is how, at the age of 17, I asked my parents to borrow me some money and applied to the makeup school. So I started as a makeup artist who wanted to have professional knowledge to apply the makeup for myself, but in half a year I ended up starting to do the makeup applications for very minor in the beginning. Photo shoots, super local ones, lookbooks, and then it turned to be my passion and my work.
Wow, actually, you mentioned that you started 11 years ago. You've been pretty young, yeah? So you've been studying in university and you started your career. How did you find your clients, or how did you end up like having publications in these magazines in Krasnodar?
In Krasnodar, yeah. So I believe that when you're socially active and when you actually try to know more people in your local city, you somehow get into the circles when you're like, oh, I do the makeup. Do you guys need any makeup artists for the shoot or for, I don't know, some advertising or the campaign, lookbook? So I started, of course, to work for free in the beginning, and I had like long days, not paid for the makeup, not paid for even the materials that I used or like the makeup products, not paid for anything. But this is the beginning of most of the makeup artists. So you have to gain some confidence, you have to gain experience, and of course the knowledge how to communicate about your prices and about the specific requests for your work to be in a good way.
Was it the specific moment when you realized that you don't want to work for free anymore? I mean, it's like a lot of professionals who just start out, it's very important to get a portfolio, to get clients, to like get your hands on a job, right? To practice a lot. And do you remember that moment, actually?
Actually, I do not remember this moment, but I believe I was always a little bit like money focused, like financially focused.
Like a businessman, right?
Like a businessman, yeah, entrepreneur. I always try to make sure that at least my expenses are covered. So, I mean, gas, when I was 18, I started to drive in Krasnodar. So the gas covered, the car insurance is covered, my makeup, which also costs a lot.
It is, yeah.
So
I know.
I started to charge very low amount of money. I would say like 300, 500 rubles. Nowadays it's like what, $7 for the makeup, $8 for the makeup, even maybe, I don't know, something around this. That time it was still very little money.
Yeah, but you still started to realize that it's your job, and you can not just doing it for fun as your hobby, or it's just a pleasure.
Yeah.
And how did you started to extend your makeup to natural brows as well? How that happened?
This is actually a very interesting story also. So I believe during all my life I have new knowledge through the painful experiences myself. And I still remember this day, I would never forget. It was December 30th. You know, we like guys celebrate New Year's Eve more than Christmas.
Yeah.
And I happened to make an appointment to my eyebrows lady, as always. And first, she forgot about my appointment, and that time I could see that in her eyes.
It's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign.
But she still took me as a client, and she spent 15 minutes on my eyebrows, made it twice thinner, almost black, and she used scissors. So she trimmed all of my eyebrows from the beginning till the end, just brushed up and trimmed. And no one did it before. She never did it before. My appointments usually took at least 30 minutes. And honestly, I was just crying. I burst in tears right after I left her room.
Oh my gosh, and it's New Year. I mean,
It's
just
New
a
Year.
celebration.
And it was 2012 when that happened.
But the tiny brows were fancy that time.
It was
already.
fancy, but I never followed that trend. I was like, oh, I love my eyebrows. I don't need to change anything, you know. So
you want to make it more fancy. I don't want it.
I think she honestly just forgot about my appointment. Let's be honest. But I came back home and I started to understand, like, okay, I have to live with these eyebrows. I have to do something. But what is available on the market? And those, like, that time we had only dark brown and black pencils for eyebrows. We had no eyebrows gels. We had nothing. So it took me almost 10 months to regrow my eyebrows, and I took classes, and I was like, okay, that happened with the makeup. Maybe I will get into eyebrows also, who knows. So I think all my career paths could be described as like through the pain to the stars, you know.
I mean, I feel it's an amazing way to start something. Like, some people just realize that there is not a good product on the market, or there is not a good service, and that's why, like, they start to do it just to do great and to provide the service.
And I think this is one of the biggest things that we as entrepreneurs, as like small business owners, or like people who are passionate about something, this is the thing that we can do. We can find one specific thing that we are completely not satisfied with, focus on this, and try to understand how we can make it better, how we can influence this industry, like any industry it could be. So yeah, that's how I started. This is how I started.
Wow, amazing. So, and after that, how did you end up in New York City? How that happened?
Honestly,
you had your career, you've been working with fashion brands, you did editorial photo shoots. Why New York City? How that happened?
It will sound completely crazy. So when I lived in Krasnodar, I lived with my family, with my parents, and I had wallpaper with a view of Brooklyn Bridge facing Manhattan, and it's like nice. It was like what 2000, I don't know, from 2009 I believe I had these wallpapers. So I believe somewhere on this like conscious mind it started to print.
Right?
Yeah, it started to print in my mind that New York is not that far. I don't know, I cannot explain this.
It's right in my wall.
Exactly. All my selfies in my mirror was like with a background of Brooklyn Bridge and beautiful Manhattan view. So I just thought that I could take the opportunity and try to move and work in New York. And I was like, okay, if it's gonna happen, great. I would work with new brands. I will try to get more possibilities, more like options in New York, according to the brands, according to campaigns, career path in general. And if it would not be successful, I can always come back to Krasnodar and I would be like, okay, I worked in New York, or like I made it to New York. This is my experience in my resume. So I believed there will be no regrets about these choices.
Wow.
And I never regretted.
Yeah, actually I understand you. It's always like when you think about such a big decision like moving somewhere, you always think like I always can come back if nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing is here, and it's just like Elsa actually calmed me down when I was making this decision. I'm like, I can always come back to Russia, right? Like, and to continue what I did there.
Yeah, this is exactly. I think this is the right mindset for someone who is adventurous enough to make this move, because you live in literally your friends, your family, your hometown, your apartment that you own or renting, my car. I'm still like sad about this part. Everything. You leaving everything behind and you starting from scratch in the new city. And we know that New York is really tough. You need to have a lot of energy. You need to pursue this happiness in the city.
Yeah, which challenges, personal and in business, did you experience while you already moved here? Is it something
I
like getting like to know people, getting new jobs, getting new friends?
would say everything at once. When I moved, I believe I didn't realize how much pressure I would have physically, mentally, financially, and I knew only one person here when I moved, and he was not in the industry, just random friend of mine who is like in finance, and I had to find the apartment, to find the room first, then find the apartment. It was just a lot of financial issues that I was not ready for. Of course, I miss my family a lot. I miss my friends, because you need to build the completely new community and circles of your friends, friendship. But thanks God to my work, I meet people every time. And when I click with people, with my clients especially, we're just like a great group of people who can hang out and go somewhere and just have nice experiences in New York. But what I actually should mention, I was not ready for mental breakup, I would say, because when I moved to New York, it was so difficult. It was, I don't know, it was everything at once.
Yeah, like first when you see New York, you're like, wow, such a great city, I want to live there, you're so excited. But after some time, you realize that being a tourist in a city and to live here, it's two different experiences, and it's like completely different.
Completely different, yeah.
Yes, and I understand you very well, because I mean, I also was first like excited, right? Everything like you just see first time, right? And just, but then you start to understand that, I mean, nothing is perfect, right? There are some pros and cons, and it's really very expensive, actually. It's like, I think everyone is just going through that stage when they just need to figure out how to run.
Exactly. And I would mention one more struggle that I had. I think it is important for people who are trying to move to any foreign country to understand that if you think that, I thought that time that my English was perfect because I was in like semi-private school. I learned English from the very beginning of my life.
It's actually a great thing, yeah.
And when I moved to New York, I was like, oh, I actually do not speak English. You know, guys, like, like British English in the books is great. But when you ask someone like, oh, excuse me, where is the garbage can? And people are like, oh, the trash. You're like, yeah, the trash. Or I still remember the lady on set, she was in the production, and it was my first production. It was a horrible day for me, like really stressful. And she asked me, oh, how are you doing? And as a Russian person, I was like, it's a horrible day, you know. And I started, instead of a small talk thing, I just started to tell her how was my day actually. And she was like looking at me like, is she like okay? So you know what I'm saying? No. Because back in today's in Russia, in Krasnodar specifically, when someone asks you like, hey, how's your day? That means the person is actually interested, cares, yeah. But here it's just a small talk that we have everywhere in a, I don't know, like a grocery store.
It's like to say hi and just to say that you're open to conversation, you're like friendly, and this is different.
It's very important note. I was so ashamed after a couple of years of that. I'm like, how is it possible no one told me about this?
It's just like, it reminded me the Friends character, like, how you doing? Like,
how you doing? Exactly. Yeah.
It's another type of how you doing. Actually, speaking of, like, that's a lot of things you accomplished in a personal level, and your lifestyle changed a lot. Did your business change a lot since you moved here? How you evolved your business? How that
this is like completely different story. I would say that any person who works in the beauty business right now need to understand a couple things. We cannot rely on the clients who say like, oh, hey, can I make an appointment? See you on like Thursday, 5 p.m., right? Instead of just taking the calls, you need to manage your time and your schedule. So what I mean, in Russia, it was not typical to have online bookings and to have the prepayments. But in New York, we all live in New York right now. We're like shitting in New York. So your time is your money. And if a couple clients a day or even one client in a day not showing up for appointment, you just sit in and you're waiting and you're wasting your time and money. So
yeah, because you could get another client, you
exactly.
could do other things.
Or you can just have rest and have a break,
it's
which is also very important in New York.
Yeah.
So when I started to run the actual office that I have right now in Williamsburg, I realized that I need my schedule, my website, and my time to be properly organized. And by that I mean like actual appointment types when the client go in on the website and check in your availability, available timing, booking and prepaying the appointments. Because it was not a thing for me in Russia. In Russia I had like the notebook, I still have those, I keep it close to my heart. Old fashioned, you like handwriting, time, name, phone number. You call your client one day ahead and ask him, hey, are you coming to appointment? And sometimes my clients were like, oh, I completely forgot, or like, oh, something changed. And now the business is so, for me, automized. So there is no need for me to call someone. There is no need for the client to pick up the phone. They have the messages, they have the emails with the reminders 3 days ahead, right when they book in, 3 days ahead, 1 day ahead, 3 hours ahead, they have the message.
That's awesome. Automation for the like reminders.
It saved me so much time, and I honestly believe this is the best thing I ever did during the first 3 weeks of pandemic.
You just did it on pandemic.
I did it myself. Okay. I'm like,
you did it for the website, right?
I did the full website myself. I created
the
landing page, the schedule page, and as a person who is not good with the technology, like not good at all, I feel it was such an accomplishment for me. I'm like, okay, where is my crown? Where is my crown? I need all the applause in the world for me. Actually,
I give it to you.
Yeah, thank you. So I would say the most important for anyone who tries to have some success in New York and as entrepreneur, and if you provide any services, you need to have the professional website and schedule for your clients with a prepayment.
With a prepayment.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, you have an amazing website. I mean, you also have some short bio, you have some projects.
Thank you.
And you have like different packages which you offer. This is what I like about
so you as my client can experience.
I love it.
Can experience the full range of options.
Yeah, it's amazing, really.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and actually you also offer some education courses there.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do have classes for someone who want to do it professionally, for the makeup artists who want to upgrade their level, because I think it's really important to have the understanding that we can pick up different techniques, different knowledges from our colleagues, not just to see it as competitors field. It is, but I still believe we are all colleagues. And I have the packages for private clients who just want to know how to select good makeup, and we're going to the stores, and I have professional discounts that saves them money on the products.
Wow, I actually didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah. This is how like my client purchasing the session with me, but saving on the makeup because they're like 30% off, 40% off as a professional.
Yeah, and they have like everything what they really need.
Yes.
All the tones, but sometimes you go to Sephora and it's not necessarily you will find the right thing.
Yeah, you're just picking up wrong thing.
Yeah.
So that's
awesome. Wow. Actually, speaking about your editorial part, so you have your salon, so your office, in Brooklyn. So you work there. Plus, you do fashion and beauty editorial photo shoots. And I know that you've been working with a beauty icon, Natalia Vodyanova, on the show Sleep No More, which I actually love very much. Yeah.
So
how that happened? How did you get involved?
New York is just a miracle. When you start to meet people in the community, especially if it is small fashion community or like Russian-speaking community, Slavic community. You just getting exposed to new projects because people asking, hey, you do makeup, are you free this day, that day? I was randomly asked to apply the makeup for actors from Sleep No More during AMFAR with Natalia Vodyanova, and it was just magical. It was immersive show, beautiful, just gorgeous. I hope this AMFAR also will be amazing this year. We'll see.
I'm actually going.
Oh, you going?
Yeah, to
wow.
Sleep No More, yeah, to Halloween.
Wow, that's nice. Yeah, it's a Halloween
I took
party.
tickets, and I'm so excited because I was there like 5 years ago, just on a regular one. But
okay.
I just decided to.
I need to check it out also.
Yeah, there are tickets there.
A lot of galas this year. A lot of galas.
Oh my gosh, actually just came back from yesterday Gala.
Yeah.
Tell a little bit about that.
So yesterday I worked on Unitas Gala, which is the gala that helps to prevent human and sexual trafficking. So I managed 5 makeup artists and did the work myself. So it was like 6 makeup artists, 4 hairstylists. We helped more than 20 people to look gorgeous and ready for the red carpet. And then I attended myself. It was my second gala after AMFAR. And I don't know, it felt like magic when you're just surrounded by beautiful models, successful people, when you can help the society to prevent some really bad things that could happen to anyone. It felt like a good purpose.
So actually you hired to work with you 5 different makeup artists. Yeah. So you had a team and...
I had a team and I had to manage them. So I had to confirm the schedules and the guidelines, just make sure that everyone is getting to different hotels on time, that every client is happy, ask for before and after pictures, also ask to sign non-disclosure agreement. And
so you have all your documents also provided, right?
Yes,
so
and provide the payments through the company. So it's a lot, and it's actually the first time I did that. So for me, yesterday was so stressful. I was like,
oh my gosh,
doing the makeup, trying to control the situation with different makeup artists on set. But in the end, I was very happy.
Yeah,
it was like successful story. I liked it.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, actually, speaking about how you get involved to this type of amazing projects, I feel like lots of people are focused on hard skills rather than underestimate those soft skills which can really provide them the job. Mm-hmm. And speaking about how you hire your makeup artists, probably they also somehow in communication with you, right? Mm-hmm. And do you think it's really important, the soft skill set?
Mm-hmm. I truly believe that hard skills could be learned by anyone. Like if you want to start drawing, right, or using the oil paints, you can just spend several amount of hours or years on trying to do that, right? But we, in this beauty field, talk about soft skills as common basic things. And for me, soft skills is not just communication or professional attitude or being on time or something like this. This is very basic level. For me, soft skills is also how another person could read you, about what gestures you perform, how you speak, what is your tone of voice. So this all builds up as your image, as your professional image, and of course the style. So I believe in my field, if you want to have success, you need to have the whole package. You need to be interesting person. You have to learn new things constantly. You have to be open to the world and to the new information. This is curiosity part, right? You have to be professional, and of course you have to have a good communication skills. So if something happens on set and the client is not happy, or if something is out of your control, right? You need to know how to manage that. So this would be my top soft skills to mention. because some people think, oh, I'm gonna go to the makeup school, they're gonna teach me how to do smokey eye or the liner or like perfect skin complexion, whatever. But the client feels your energy. You should be this person who inspires another. You should bring this energy, bring the good conversations, not just telling how bad your day was, you know, like don't do like me a couple of years ago.
What happened a couple of years ago? Some funny story?
No, I'm talking about when I just moved, you know.
When you just moved and you that's like, how are you?
Yeah, I'm still ashamed of this story, still ashamed. I'm so
This
sorry.
is how we learn. I think nothing ashamed to be doing mistakes, especially if you're first time in a place and you're just like learning.
Yeah, that's true.
It's important to learn.
Yeah, that's true. So soft skills are very important.
Yeah, and actually speaking about makeup artists and brow artists, right? You work so close to the face, and I feel like it's very like big exchange of the energy, right? Because you're like really close to
because
the person.
I touch people's eyes, skin, and I'm like this close, like this.
So your canvas when you are painting is right, and
yes, and I
person feels this energy.
And yeah, we all can feel the energy. I truly believe, I'm convinced that we can exchange this energy. And sometimes I have clients who come to my office and I could see they're not in a good mood, and I'm like, okay, what can I do for you? Do you want some sparkling water? Do you want some cappuccino? Do you want cappuccino to go? Do you want to hear any fun stories from my life? How can I make your day better besides great eyebrows and makeup? You know?
Oh my gosh.
So I feel it's a little bit of like therapy, small therapy sessions also happening
with
there.
the client, that's true.
But I'm really grateful to have my clients and to have my work as a huge part of me and my life.
Yeah, actually you just mentioned about being in competition or being in collaboration with your colleagues.
Yeah.
How do you feel the beauty industry itself? Is it competitive inside, like between artists?
I think it is extremely competitive as any field. If we would mention financial field, right, or I don't know, insurance or like anything basically in New York, we all here try to get better, like better slug, better piece of life, right? So I think it is competitive enough, but I prefer to look on this side through the prism of colleagues situation. Colleagues, because every makeup artist, every eyebrows artist, we all will have clients, just different clients. It's enough people, enough faces, enough eyebrows in the world, in the country, in the state, in the city to provide the services for. The other question is, what type of people do you want to attract? So I believe my clients are gonna stay with me because of, I don't know, because of my soft skills, because of what kind of person I am. And of course, if I'm gonna change if I will have some changes in me as a like personality, right? Maybe like some clients will change also. You know, it's normal to have the float of back and forth clients.
Yeah, that's
but
true. And your life is changing and you're focused on different things.
Of course, it's completely normal. That's why sometimes I meet colleagues and they're like, oh, I will not share like what type of technique I use. And I'm like, why? Like, you would never do what I'm doing, what I'm providing, because we just have different experiences in life. We have different, I don't know, we're just two different people.
Yeah.
So how you can compare that?
Yeah, I also agree.
You can. This is why I believe when I teach someone to do eyebrows, or when I was taught how to do eyebrows, the teacher provides all the information, but how you process this information, what you do with it, and how you apply it to your professional life, everyone will get different result out of this. Everyone.
Yeah.
So you can have the same information coming in, but the results may vary.
Yeah, what do you think is more important for makeup artists, to have a proper training or to just practice a lot? What makes him the great? Both?
Honestly, I think both, because without really good education in the makeup, you still will feel like not professional enough, and without practice it doesn't make any sense, because you could have the best education, the best teacher, hands-on makeup course, makeup class, but if you do not practice and when you only listen, you will never achieve the success, because you actually need your hard skill, how to blend, how to apply, what to use, how to feel the skin texture, how to understand what type of skin you have in front of you, what to do with it. And if you do not use brushes, your fingertips, you will never do a good makeup or eyebrows.
Actually, speaking about just beauty industry itself, and right now it's a big push towards companies, towards brands to present like diverse models, different like types of models. Like body positivity is an important thing right now. I feel the beauty industry is just starting on that path. It's just starting to do that. How do you experience those changes, or are they happening, or do you think it's like significant right now, or it's still very like about standards, like old-fashioned, whatever?
It's a very good question. So sometimes I feel that all this body positivity and like just be yourself, it's going towards the very edge of not okay thing. This is like my personal opinion about this. But at the same time, I feel this picture perfect life that we've been shown for all these years before, it's also not realistic at all. So I prefer to be in the middle, somewhere when we could understand that to be the best version of you is great, and you can just improve something, you can work on yourself, like mentally, physically, just be the best version that you could be as a person, right? But I don't think it should be pushed towards almost laziness, almost when people like, oh, I'm like perfect enough, I will not do anything at all, you know? So it's two different categories of like picture perfect and whatever I am. So I prefer to be in the middle and to be cautious about health, to be cautious about what processes we have in our minds, in our mindset, how is our mental health, physical health. So I think it should be okay for the beauty companies to have minimum retouch for the companies, for the lookbooks, for advertising, because none of the mascaras that we were shown in like 2000s with like these crazy lashes, you remember L'Oreal, Paris, or like, I don't know, Lancome, Chanel, it shouldn't exist because it's false lashes and they apply the mascara.
I remember this advertising.
Yes, and it's like, it's not possible.
Yeah,
This is not truth at all.
No.
So I believe it should be true to the reality, like honest to the customer, to someone who buys the product. So I believe it could be some retouches done during the photo shoots, during like, you know, beautiful campaigns, but it's good to have the understanding how the product actually gonna work, how it's actually gonna look on the skin, on your eyes, on your eyelashes, because the most unhappy part of my job is when you're facing expectations and reality.
Actually,
it's like, you know, the horse picture when you have like this gorgeous horse and then you like ugly something, because when you buy the product, you want this product to be exactly like you saw it
on a picture,
in a picture, how you saw it in any ad. So for me, I believe there should be the middle ground somewhere in between complete body positivity, like all this side, and like just picture perfect. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, as always.
Yeah, that, I mean, I actually agree with you. And also I will add that authenticity, right? Yeah, it's for me like the world of the year. And just just all these beauty and makeup products will just have to improve like, and just to bring the better version of this.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, actually I wake up and I feel that today I'm feeling like that, tomorrow I'm feeling like with a red lipstick
Yes,
person.
exactly.
Today, like, I'm supernatural, like sport or fancy. It also depends on the occasion.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's all like, and the beauty products just help me to be creative and to add something to my day and to look how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
It's always like also have to align with your mental like statement at this moment.
I truly agree with that. This is why we have the makeup, right? This is why we have the fashion and beauty industry in general, because we can communicate with the world using our makeup, our clothes, our gestures, just show who we are. And today I could be here like in feather jacket, and tomorrow you could see me in like sneakers running around Williamsburg and doing like, I don't know, running some errands.
Yeah. Are you the fan of any beauty trends? Something?
In the beauty industry, we have constantly changing trends. Constantly. Sometimes it's even vice versa. You can read in the, like, I don't know, Cosmopolitan article or WWD, the article about, the best autumn-winter beauty trends, bleached eyebrows. Then you will read like red lipstick, smoky eyes, and then lamination, and then no makeup. And it's like everything at once, which could be a lot. So I feel that when we talk about the makeup, when we talk about eyebrows, it's minor procedures, right? But in general, in the last decade, the beauty industry had a huge path of going to crazy permanent procedures. And I personally do not follow this trend. You see, I'm even like not comfortable about this trend. I think that, and I tell this to all my clients, we need to see how the new beauty procedure, the major beauty procedure in the market, gonna act in 3, 4, 5 years. For example, microblading. I consider microblading and tattoo eyebrows as a major procedure for your face and for your body, because microblading is actually the pen with the blade that cuts your skin in a thin, like very thin, straws, yeah. And then it's filled with a color. Then it's healed, and sometimes the pigment stays if it's deep enough. Sometimes it can vanish a little bit and you need the touch-up. But we all know that if we have the scar, if we, I don't know, had a cut or the surgery and we have the scar, we have no hair on this part of the body. If you will think about that.
Yeah. It's like for brows, right?
And this is for brows because this is micro scarring your eyebrows, and that means that you can, if the person who's doing that procedure goes too deep, they can just ruin your hair follicle. That means that the follicle just closes and it never will grow again.
Oh my gosh.
So this why I think this is a major procedure, because I have multiple clients who came after this and they're like, oh yeah, it looks great. And in half a year, they're not happy because their eyebrows are fading or changing the color. If the pigment was too warm, it's going towards on the red side, like red/ginger side. If the pigment was too cold in the color, it's going to the grayish side. And microblading you cannot remove with a laser. Meanwhile, tattoo eyebrows, or like tattoos on your body, you can remove with a laser, which also costs a lot. It's painful. And this is
with
how
no scars you can remove it.
Yeah, tattoo eyebrows you can remove because laser do not work on the scars because the pigment is already in your skin. You cannot get it up to the first layers of your skin from the epidermis. And this leads us to the new trends, eyebrows transplants. Hello. So I truly believe that
hear about that.
It's a big trend right now, and I just wrote the article about this because people who went through 2000s, early 2000s, 2005, 2010, They did very thin eyebrows.
Yeah, this is what we talk about.
Yes.
Yeah, like the
They did very
there.
thin eyebrows. They removed a lot of hair. Some of them did it with the laser because they wanted like almost.
I think I also like did some very thin something.
I'm gonna cry right now.
Like now I'm fine.
You're fine. Now you're fine. You're in good hands. So these trends that we had like 1 decade ago affecting the trends right now, because now it's like lamination, bushy eyebrows, natural thickness. And that's what I'm telling to my clients. Instead of doing the procedure right away, if you see something new, like a couple years ago we had baby glow for the skin, for example. So I will shortly explain what it was. Baby glow, it was the procedure when esthetician applies the tint, looks almost like whitish highlighted tint all of your face, and right away you have this super glowy face, and you go out and it's nice and you don't need to apply the foundation or the BB-CC cream. And I told to my clients, do not do that. Let's wait a couple years. Let's see how it acts after the sun, when you're going to be tanned, when you're going to go to the cold, because yes, it helps to even up the skin tone, but at the same time, as a tattoo, we do not know how it's going to react. If you're going to have any sunspots. And this is what happened after almost 3 years. I have 4 clients who did that procedure, and they were very happy right after. And in Instagram and also all social media, we have before and after pictures right away. We do not have long-term effects. We cannot see that because in most of the time of the times it's not a good result. So in 3 years, what I have, me and my 4 clients, we have the spots, we have the sunspots, we have uneven whitish spots that you cannot remove with a laser because laser do not work on the white pigment. It can remove only dark tattoos. So in that case, my clients right now just push to use really heavy foundations to cover it and to even it up. So it's with all the new procedures like cat's eye, when we like put the threads and
it was just like a year ago. I mean, inspired
4 years ago. It started 4 years ago.
I'm late on trends.
It's okay. It's okay. Like non-surgical nose jobs. Same thing. They put the filler. It looks great in the picture. It looks great before and after, right away. But most of the people have their the filler removed. Some people cannot breathe. Some people have it here. Some people had to remove the filler with crazy things. So my belief is that any major surgery, major beauty trend, it should be observed for at least 3, 4, 5 years to see the actual result. And meanwhile, what we can do, we can use the products that we know already, like Botox. I never did. I don't know how it feels, but like a lot of people went through this. If you have good esthetician,
fans of the Botox, I know people who just like completely against. It just like
it depends.
On
if you want it, you can use something that you sure about, that we know how it's gonna affect your face. What I don't know what results you're gonna have in the end after like 5-10 years, and how to control these results in the end of the time.
You actually brought so many amazing points about, first of all, procedures which people really have to avoid.
But somehow I feel the problem nowadays with the beauty industry, with the social media, is that it all delivered to us as minor procedures, but it's not minor. If we look in the consequences of these choices in like 10, 15, 20 years, if you're gonna do your eye lift right now when you're 25, when you're 30, and you're gonna do it, what are we gonna have in like 20 years? It's probably you would have to do it multiple times, and then you're gonna have to do the facelift, for example, because when the skin is stretched, it still want to be grounded. How do you call it? It still works. Yeah. Gravity still works.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
So I feel
Natural beauty.
Natural beauty is great. To be the best version of yourself is amazing. And if you feel like you want to try something, that's completely okay, but everyone should be prepared for the consequences of these choices.
I feel it's really dangerous for teenagers. Social media, like at least like we are like after 25, the person already has like established
mental
health, right? Yeah, and he will not probably follow like right away. Or there are people who do that, and it's, I mean, we all make mistakes sometimes, right? But the major danger is on those young teenagers who see these amazing, beautiful pictures online, which are like completely retouched, photoshopped,
obviously,
and they don't feel happy about themselves, and they can make like those crazy mistakes. And this is what I feel. We are, as people who are there in social media, have to show like a different example, maybe, and to show like the real life, not like to be in the middle of something.
Exactly. And my point is that all the teenagers and people who are not in the industry, they should understand that every red carpet, every gala, we have tons of professionals who work on one person, on one celebrity, right?
1 hour, a couple hours, like.
Couple hours usually.
Couple hours,
makeup, hair, styling, fitness probably. Like, so it's a package of the person who we see right there. It's just a bunch of work, plus usually we have the specific lighting, right? Like right here in the studio. With these lights, the makeup looks different, the shades look different.
And the angles, lights,
angles, everything. And in most of the times, all these fancy galas like Met Gala or like, you know, like anything big, we have the lights, we have professional cameras, and we have what? We have retouchers. Yes. And most of the pictures, they are retouched by celebrities, like in their iPhones, or by professionals. So I feel it's definitely not honest to compare like us, normal people, to some celebrities. It's like we can be amazed by the work that they do, but how they look or something, but we should understand how much effort is standing behind this person. So if, for example, me or you, we're gonna sit in a nice chair with a good light and do professional makeup, professional hair, styling, maybe work on our, I don't know, beauty routine and health routine
prior
to this event or like interview. You would see the result, but you need to understand the actual effort that stands behind of that.
Yeah, actually, you just mentioned that was one of my questions I wanted to ask, but you actually mentioned about the behind-scenes work, how that happens on the Met Gala or New York Fashion Week, that it's a whole set of professionals working on one model, and that the final picture is...
We see just the final picture.
The teamwork.
Yeah. I believe we would never see before and after of any supermodel or celebrity, because it's just like, they're normal people, they're cool normal people. And I feel in our industry, I want more professionals that treat celebrities as just normal people. You do not ask for autograph, or like you do not ask for a picture and being like posting to social media and bragging like, oh, I worked with this and that. No, I feel like we should treat them like good people, like, hey, how's your day? How it's going? Do you want some coffee? Tell me, how was yesterday? Something simple,
And actually, you've been working with a lot of celebrities. Anyone you would love to talk about or mention? Who impressed you or you've been proud to work with?
The biggest celebrity that I worked so far was Jared Leto. And
we just watched
WeWork. So I did eyebrows and lashes for him for the WeWork.
Oh, really?
WeCrashed. It was about the WeWork, Adam Newman.
Oh, you did work on this show.
I did the eyebrows and tinted his eyelashes for this. And it was amazing to...
It was in New York City?
It was in New York, the shoot was in New York. So it was, for me, very new experience to be on movie set because it's completely different from fashion set. It's long hours of work with the key makeup, with the team. It was not easy for me. I was super nervous. I was that person who was like shaking before the appointment with Jared, but he was super cool, like amazing professional.
He's an amazing artist.
Yeah, really
Actor.
great. Actor,
yeah.
Right. He was great.
Wow, love it.
And the whole makeup team also professional, always inspired, just, I don't know, impeccable, just nice.
Yeah, how did you get involved? Is it like you work as a freelancer, not with an agency?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get to this? How did you get to this project?
As I said, New York is very
soft skills,
soft skills oriented place to be. So I met Mike Fontaine, who is one of the top special effects makeup artists right now in the field, in the makeup industry. And I met him on IMATS a long time ago, 2017. Just randomly approached him like, oh my God, I like your work. You did an amazing job. Can I get your Instagram? And he was like, okay.
Okay.
So we got coffee together. We started to talk about beauty, but his job is very different. He does special effects makeup, which is like completely different field, completely. Like when people say, oh, like you can do special effects, I'm like, no, I cannot do. There are special people for this. It's another production, another just set for work. And he reached me out and he asked if I can do something because they had the reference and they cannot create the fake eyebrows looking alike like Adams Newman. So I had to create the whole mood board explaining what I'm gonna do, how it's gonna be applied, how it's gonna look like, because if it's messed up, it's messed up. So
gosh.
This is how I got this amazing opportunity to work with Jared Leto and the team and Mike Fontaine.
Yeah, is that important to work with an agency, or you want to go work with an agency, or you want to stay as freelance artist working for your own? Do you think, I understand agency, it's like full-time job really. When you think like about like makeup artists, they're just scheduled for multiple occasions. But at the same time, you are not free to do what you want to do, right? Maybe you want to have some flexible schedule, some time.
Honestly, when I started my career a long time ago, I thought, oh, I'm going to be a freelancer. Such a cool new word for Russians. And nowadays, I understand that freelancer and entrepreneur, it's completely two different things. Freelancer, you like actually freelancing, you like trying to manage your life, but entrepreneurship and like to be entrepreneur, you have to think a couple steps ahead. What projects you're gonna work on? What is your goal for the month according to financial goal, client's goal, overall goal? And I do want to work with the agency. Not sure if it's gonna be like makeup hair agency, creative artist agency, or just specific model agency, because I'm truly interested to help great models to manage their eyebrows. Like I want to be focused on celebrity eyebrows more, and makeups just for fun. But for fun, I'm also mean galas and like cool people and cool weddings. Because for me, when I have too much of the same identical work, I'm getting tired and I'm getting emotionally drained. I just need to have a little bit of flexibility on that.
That's I understand that, like being working as an entrepreneur. Do you have some PR or like makeup artist agencies you want to be involved with? Is there anything like
I mean, I
cool
like
right now?
I like couple agencies, like artist agencies. I honestly didn't have time to apply and to proper get the portfolio together, especially eyebrows portfolio, but I'm gonna work on that starting November this year when I will have more free time. As for the models agency that I want to work with, it's either Elite or I don't know, elite probably.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's
They have
awesome.
great models. We'll see. We'll see. I need to wrap my portfolio first.
Yeah, and working on their, you also talk about working with Jared Leto, and you got so many inspiration from to bring the right result. Where do you source your inspiration for current brows projects? Not like if it's makeup or
For the eyebrows projects,
well, like makeup. Yeah. Even.
you know, for eyebrows projects, I usually do not need any inspiration. I either have the goal, like if it's like client work relationship as with my private clients, it's usually a specific goal. Like someone want their eyebrows to be thicker, more feathered, or darker, or just being able to manage it in the right way on everyday basis. And for the makeup, I actually think everyone should have the inspiration. Like you cannot just go on shoot and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna do typical makeup. You need to dig a lot of information, and I believe it's better when it is correlated with the work. So I mean, instead of going to makeup artists' pages and social medias and websites and trying to copy these works, I believe it's better to dig into art history, into history, maybe some very old techniques, and just try to, I don't know, to mix and match things. Like sometimes the inspiration could be anywhere, especially in New York. We are just exposed to these experiences every day. Like, I don't know, you see
So
cool
many different
building,
people.
cool person, you talk, you have this idea, you see amazing color, and you're like, oh, I can use this shape, this color, and bring some funkiness to the look. And this is how I create the mood boards. So sometimes my mood boards for the makeup, it could be separately the color or the color palette, or it could be some even words that would help to describe how it's gonna look like. So yeah, I think inspiration is everywhere.
Yeah.
But the most important part is to search it in correlated fields. Like again, special makeup could be the inspiration, history, beauty field in general, even some beauty mistakes. It also could be inspiration. It could be inspiration.
To do better.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's all correlated.
Yeah. How do you feel being an entrepreneur, female entrepreneur in New York City?
Hard, but great. Seems like I never thought it's gonna be such a thing to be like entrepreneur as a woman. I would say it's not easy, definitely, yeah, but it's great at the same time. It's great to understand that you have the possibility to build something, to build a community, to try to build your business, no matter if it's small or big, and to influence society in any way, any possible way.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, what helps me sometimes, and when I talk with other entrepreneurs, some online communities sometimes help, or like the circle of friends who have the same path, entrepreneurship path, and it helps to you as well to get some inspiration, like support, empowerment from. Do you have any like maybe online communities or any like specific places where you go and you feel like empowered in New York City?
I honestly do not follow any community that I'm not a part of any online community, but it's a good idea to start to be this part. I would say most of my friends, they are entrepreneurs and they doing well. So they had difficult path to become successful, but they can share a lot of stories, they can share their experiences.
Especially immigrants, I think.
Especially immigrants, because for us it's also language barrier, it's also like soft skills problems sometimes. So I feel anyone who makes a decision to start the business or to be individual who is not under big company's name, you know. It's already the desire to be successful, the desire to be better, some freedom of thinking, and it's definitely some search for life, search for something better. So I think, I don't know, I have a lot of inspiration around me with my clients, with my work, and I will think about trying to find some local community or online community. But now just people who surround me, they're so great. They inspiring.
I mean, we have lots of common friends who just like rock and roll.
Yes, Stefania, Ira. I could name a lot of people, but you had
like
interviews.
Paulina,
you had interviews with them. So different people, different fields of work, but I believe from each person you could gain some interesting facts or ideas how to apply it to your own life and your business, and just to be a better person. Like, as I said, my goal is just to be a better person than I was yesterday in any possible way.
So do you have any projects you suggest to work in the future you would love to work on? Anything? What inspires you right now and you want to try?
I have a very serious thought of creating the exhibition, and these thoughts keep chasing my mind for a year almost. So I really want to have exhibition where we could show people what is makeup industry, but not just in a picture, but when you can actually touch the makeup, when you can smell the makeup.
Wow.
When you have all this ability to collaborate with the makeup and with the art that it creates. But I mean, I need a significant amount of financial
resources,
effort, and resources to achieve that. So now it's kind of like somewhere on the shelves, sitting there and waiting for the right time. But I wish it would be my next big project to work on.
Yeah, and it's actually, oh my gosh, just forgot that I didn't mention that you have O1 visa also.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
My second O1 visa.
Extraordinary talent, right?
Yeah,
in the US. You got it. And I'm sure like this sounds like immersive experience for makeup artists, like immersive makeup exhibition. I love that. I love this idea.
I also love it idea. So I hope it's gonna happen soon, maybe next year in the beginning, we'll see.
Yeah, is there any online maybe podcasts, books or something what you read and what you what motivates you to do more? And because I know like it's such a complicated path when you have to do so many projects and sometimes like drain in your energy. And
as I mentioned before, I have a lot of experiences from my friends, which also helps in my life, and I appreciate every story, every example, or like thoughts that they could share with me. But I feel for the beauty business specifically, there is one podcast that helped me a lot. It's called the Beauty Business Podcast. The guy who runs this podcast, his name is Adam, and we also did the interview 1 year ago.
Oh,
but
really?
He's doing amazing, beautiful job on educating people how to run their beauty business. So he can talk professionally about money in the business, how to manage clients, how to manage appointments, how just to make it work, how to earn more money, and how to get more social media following. Like it's different types of fields he's talking about. And another podcast, it's Russian. I'm not sure that someone will be interested, but it's called Refill. Refill by Alina Chichina and Sasha Zharkova. So they talk about mental health, and I believe it is very important to be focused on your mental health in New York specifically for everyone.
100%. Yeah.
Yes. And there are a couple books that literally changed but shaped my mindset about communication, about relationship in general, in between people. The book is called The Attachment. It's pretty popular. I don't know. It's about what is your attachment type, and it could be applied to love life, work life, just general
Who's
relationship.
The author?
I don't remember. It's called The Attachment.
You'll send me the link.
Definitely.
Okay.
Another one was The Atomic Habits.
Oh,
It's
I've
really
heard
great.
about this one,
I love this book. Amazing. And what else? I don't know. I can send you the list. There, I need my phone to scroll down and to see. But I could send you the list to post.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Any advice to someone who'd love to pursue the same career as you did?
My advice would be, just do it. Just literally try. Do not have any expectations, but put a lot of effort in that. And with the effort, it all comes together with the time. Just do it. Give it a chance.
Yeah, thank you. It's awesome.
Yay!
And my last question.
Yes.
What's your definition of success?
My definition of success is freedom. And I was thinking about this question recently. And I feel freedom is such a broad form of feeling that you could have. You could have financial freedom, mental freedom, you could have freedom in your body, physical freedom. So for me, success is to have freedom.
Awesome. Yeah.
And we're in a free country, which is great.
So I wish you to have that.
Thank you.
To get that success which you have for yourself.
Thank you, Dasha.
Yeah, and I wish to visit your exhibition.
Yay!
And to celebrate your other projects with you and your wonderful work.
Thank you, Daria.
So much.
Appreciate it. It was a lovely interview.
Yeah, I'm
thank
so
you for
happy.
invitation.
I'm so happy with you. Thank you so much. Yeah. And thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram if you have any questions. Daria Kruchinina, how to find you?
At Kruchinina.pro, KRUCHININA.pro.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, we do. Thank you so much. Appreciate your attention and see you next time.
Bye.